Hello and welcome to Positive Coalition Peace Talks, episode 2. I hope everybody can hear me clearly. And I want to thank Leona Santiago for joining early and also welcome Mary, Becky, Ken, Carol, Kathy. So I actually wrote a speech today. The first episode we did was kind of improvised, and that's why I thought, okay, I need to write a speech and agenda and all of that. So I did, but the irony of it is I locked my bedroom door and I don't have the keys. It just happened in the last moment, so I guess we have to improvise this one as well. So let me start with introducing myself. My name is Ashfaq, aka ST Badhon. So Badhon is my nickname and ST is my pen name. ST stands for Saint. And we are here today to find if we, the ordinary people, can stop or slow down any word. So I actually have a few actionable items in a PDF file that's not lost, fortunately. And then we want to talk about, I actually invited some people from organizations who work on active war zones from, Ukraine to Myanmar and in between everything. Let's welcome Beth, who just joined us in Zoom. Welcome, Beth. So I was introducing myself. Let me go back to that part. I am the founder of IT agency called Q&A IT, and we serve small businesses with their 360-degree IT needs. And also, I am founder of Shanti Boy, which is a competitor to Hey There. Finally, can you unmute yourself and talk to us?
Oh,
Hey.
I'm just Beth Allison. I live in Ohio. I'm just I'm on disability. I'm been on disability 30 years. I'm just a very concerned citizen about the world, and just want to just make it a better place.
I hope my audio is significantly better right now because I didn't notice I was speaking through my webcam.
It's fine.
All right. So let's go back to my introduction. I was talking about, I'm being founder of a IT agency, founder of something called Shanti Boy, which is pre-launching today, and it competes directly with Kindle and Audible with a single platform. Okay, and I'm going to demonstrate how it works. Although we don't have a lot right now, it's a pre-launch. We just have the basic features. So we'll talk about it later. But the main reason we're here today is to find ways we can stop a war or at least slow it down. Okay, so that's me in a nutshell. Oh, I actually forget to tell a little bit about me, which is I also developed some civic action apps. One of them is called IOT Civic Action App, and another one is called I Am Democracy. And both of these have different functionalities where citizen can come in and take solid action, like call representatives or do something that makes real impact. So I hope Jackie, Xochitl, they join us soon because they are a big part of it. Okay, I can see Slan joined in. Hey Slan, welcome. So I actually invited people, as I said, from different organizations who works on active war zones. So if any of you are one of those people, please let me know so that we can do sort of an interview to understand the situation, what's the exact situation on the ground, and what we can do, with the ordinary people can do. So, Stan, why don't you introduce yourself? Slan, can you hear me? Okay, I think he is just actively listening. So let's move on with our peace talks. So I'm just totally lost right now because I had all the written stuff that I was gonna say and now it's gone. So, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I've been there and I stand up from where I fell, so it's all good. It's not a big deal. So let me start sharing my screen and show you something that I have created. It's kind of based on butterfly effect, but it gives us some actionable items that we can do today to at least slow down a war. Okay, so there are 6 things. You act once, an institution logs it, a cost moves, the war gets harder to fund. Okay, so we want to make war expensive and peace inexpensive. Anyway, let's talk about the actions that we can take. So find out where your money slips. Your bank, pension, or index fund almost certainly holds arms makers and energy firms tied to a liver war. Today, search your funds holdings page, then send one written line asking for a war exposure screen. Institutions count on those letters. So if you take this action, you'll have a very strong effect on Ukraine war, Gaza war, and Congo war. Okay, and then you will have a mild impact on Sudan and Myanmar war. Okay, let's see what's the second one. Send one specific ask, not up here. Hey, Slan. Slan, can you hear us? Okay, I'm going to mute him so that I can keep talking about the actionable items. Okay, so send one specific ask, and the thing is, stop the war gets filled, a named transfer gets answered. Today, write your representative and ask in writing how they will vote on the next arms transfer or export license, and ask for a written position, you can quote, keep the reply. So if you do this, you'll have impact on Ukraine, direct impact on, or a greater impact, direct impact on Ukraine and Gaza war, and then you have indirect impact on these other wars, okay? The next thing is delay one upgrade, ask one question. Tin, tantalum, tungsten, and gold from contested mines, pay armed groups directly. Today, keep the phone or laptop another 6 months and email the brand asking which smelters the audit. Slow demand and public questions both raises the cost of looted supply. So one of the things that this particular point has missed is jade, which is directly related to Myanmar war. Actually, you can see here, if you do this, Myanmar will have direct impact, because I studied a little bit about the Myanmar war because it's my neighboring country. It's a war, it's a civil war that is impacting my country, and it's the most fragmented war of the world. Like more than 1,000 armed groups currently operating in Myanmar, okay, along with the army itself. And China kind of, benefits from it. And I am trying to be a peacemaker. I am going to study public affairs and all of that stuff so that I can actually sit on the negotiation table and actually make some difference. But for now, let's just talk about what's out there, what's the truth behind the correlated news. So China is actually funding all of the groups, and one of the ways we can fight back is expose the warlords, and bring out the victims, the Chinese citizens who are victim of those, war-like situation, the scams that are operating on the border areas. If we can bring them out in public, then China, is very reactive to these kind of things, and it will have definitely some impact on slowing down the war. So anyway, let's move on to the next point, which is fund the people who de-escalate. Relief treats the wound, mediators, ceasefire monitors, and local documentation groups work on the cause, and they are chronically unfunded. Today, give once to a local mediation or civilian protection group, however small, and set it to repeat. So actually, you need to be very careful on this part, because you have to know where your money is going, okay? I was giving out to organizations, but then I thought, okay, why there's a child cleaning the tire of a UNICEF or a UN car? That's not supposed to happen, right? So there's some hypocrisy, and I don't want my money. Even if it's a small amount, $5, I don't want to pay the UN CEO or UNICEF CEO. I want to pay that child so that he can buy some good food or maybe do something good about it. Anyway, so my point is, fund who de-escalates, but make sure the money actually goes to the people, not to the organizations directly. Or at least, even if it goes to organizations, you can verify that the images and the videos they have created, are they real or are they fake? And if you can verify that, then go ahead, do the right thing. So let's come to the next point, which is verify before you amplify. Fake atrocity clips recruit fighters and harden public's publics on every side. Today, before sharing war footage, reverse image search it and check the date. If it fails, do not post it and do not quote it to argue with it. Silence starves it faster. So actually, there's an interesting story happened. I totally stopped using Meta related products because a few days ago I found that Meta intentionally runs child abuse and sexuality ads while people who are trying to sell Bible are struggling to run some ads in there. It's shady. I mean, there's a BBC report, and I have seen how Meta product, like especially Facebook, was impacting me. I mean, when I wake up, the first thing in the morning was to just take my phone and start scrolling on Facebook to see what's going on. So they are kind of stealing our attention, and we are, I mean, it's kind of in an unconscious way. We enjoy it, right? To see what's going on around the world in just our phone. But it also have some dark sides, and I have found those. That's why I scheduled deletion of all my Meta related products. I'm having difficulty connecting with people, but there are way arounds. But at least I am morally concerned and clear that I am not supporting or funding or just being a product of a system that funds child abuse. Okay. And then there's another part of it, which is I have seen my friends repeating the algorithms that I'm seeing on social media. One of my friend was a lady friend. I mean, my school friend was suggesting to her best friend's boyfriend that you need to quarrel. If she's not having a fight with you, she's probably fighting somewhere else. And I was like being shocked, sitting in there thinking about what's going on. Can't two people have or sit in peace? Anyway, I know Facebook is kind of in a sneaky way social engineering so many things. They are actually accountable for current war in Myanmar. It's a written, I mean, there are lots of written documents and reports and news reports about it that Facebook was not doing a great job to prevent what was happening, and it spiraled out of control right now. So if you use social media, please verify the things before you share. So that's the fifth point. And the sixth point is give one displaced person a real hour. Displacement is what turns a war into a generation of wars. Today, spend 1 hour on a refugee CV and online language session or a hosting sign up, or buy from a business ran from someone who fled 1 hour, one person from any country. So this actually directly impacts the Ukraine war, Sudan war, Myanmar war, but it also indirectly impacts Gaza and Democratic of Congo, Eastern Congo indirectly. So I am going to share this PDF file with you in the Zoom chat, and also I'll write an article about it and try to put it in there so that You can take it, send it to a friend, and see how the butterfly effect actually works in real life. So that's one of the things that I wanted to talk about today. Bit, do you have any thing that you want to share, or should I move to the next thing? Can you hear me, Beth?
Oh, I'm just listening.
Okay. Okay, I can see just Brandon just joining in. So, hey, Brandon, welcome. So, Brandon wrote something called National Prosperity Accord, which is a framework. I also wrote a framework called Universal Peace Framework, which I haven't even mentioned here yet. So, how's everything going, Brandon?
Hey, Ashrak, how you doing?
Doing great?
Yeah, I just woke up, so I'm a little late. Sorry.
No worries.
I'm actually setting up my device right now, so I can actually get on camera.
Okay.
I just wanted to join on my phone so I could catch up. But
Well,
yeah,
I can
so
give you a brief of what we have been through. So we went through a little bit about, introducing ourselves, and then I wrote a speech and agenda and everything in my diary, and now it's locked in my bedroom, and it's locked from inside, and I don't have the keys. So we are improvising again today, and I actually made a PDF file of some actionable items that we can take today to slow down a war. So I was going through that. I just finished actually going through that. The next part was about doing some interviews, but I don't see anybody interested in doing any of that because we don't have many people. But if anybody is interested, please do let us know. And if you want to uh, join in this conversation and talk to the world, please let me know. Drop a comment or a message in the Substack chat. So we're live on Substack. Write something on Substack and I will send you the invite link so that you can come in and talk to the world. So, since we don't have anybody to interview, I'm actually going to show you the Shantir Boi, which is an ebook and audiobook platform. For now, it's pretty basic, doesn't have a lot going on right now. My developer friend just said he added sign up with Google option, so I have to test it out. So while I'm here, I'm going to do that and show it to you how it works. Okay. So I signed up. Did I get an email? Okay. Okay, how do I, okay. All right, I guess I have to go back and click on sign in and maybe try to sign in. So nothing is perfect right now. We are planning to integrate some amazing stuff like text to speech, then translation, you can translate it to your language. Then authors corner, people authors can come in and start selling their books, and then also a social feed where readers can connect, share their thoughts. It's like a social media, but it's more revolved, more revolved around books. Okay, so but we don't have those options yet. We are just finishing up. For some reason, the loading time is super slow right now. It was fast, but nothing is working perfectly right now, but I guess that's okay. So I will drop this. Okay, so it seems like the audiobook section is working fine. Yep. Maybe I need to actually refresh the whole thing. And let's open a book now. Let's see what happens. See the big book. Okay, something is definitely wrong with ebooks, and I will have my developer friend look at it as quick as possible. But for those who want to, I mean, the audiobooks is working fine, and hopefully the ebooks section will work fine in an hour. I am dropping the website link in both Zoom and in Substack, so that people can come in and you don't have to sign up. You can start reading right away. But if you sign up, you can have your own personal library where you can, collect the books that you want to read and have the gauge system working. Like you have read through 15 pages and then you need to go back or get out of the app. So when you come back, it takes you to that exact place, or at least indicates that you have been through this. So you need to start from here. It's like a bookmarking system, I guess. But we have another bookmark, which is you can come in here, for example, do this, and if you bookmark it here, that will actually take you to your personal library. Okay, I have saved 7 books that I want to read or listen to, and all of them are here. But inside of the book, there should be another bookmark, right? Where you can, I mean, that's what we do when we read a book. We don't like read the whole thing in a single sitting, right? We read a few pages and then put a paper or something to mark the point, that put a bookmark in there to mark where have we left, and then come back to it. So that's all about the Shantir Boi. Let me tell you about the meaning or the name of this word. So Shanti is a Sanskrit or Indian Bangladeshi word which means peace, and Boi in Bangladesh means book. So if we translate it, it's probably something called the Book of Peace, and that's actually what we are trying to do. we are trying to fight against these evil corporates like Amazon, Facebook, and you name it. And this is just some of the attempts that we are taking as an ordinary citizen. And you can come in right away, start reading books or listening to books. And you don't have to pay anything unless you feel like, okay, I feel like oops, hang on, something happening. Just stop sharing my screen. Okay. So that's probably the gist of today's meeting. Our agenda is to find some actionable items. I have blabbered all my stuff, all my ideas. Now, Beth, Brandon, Slan, Leona, if you want to share your ideas with the world, what we can do today to have some impact, maybe a very small impact, but at least we can do something today. If you have any ideas, please go ahead and share your ideas with us.
I personally don't really have any ideas.
Okay. It's okay, Beth. You can listen to Brandon because Brandon has some cool ideas. So Brandon,
Yes, he does.
why don't you
I'll
share
listen to
about
Brandon.
the National Prosperity Accord and its updated version with the world?
Yes, I like
Um,
that very much.
Well, the National Unity and Prosperity Accord, as you know, it's I mean, it's meant for a national solvency. But first and foremost, it's meant to protect people's jobs from AI displacement, and restore historical liabilities, and also basically get the nation out of debt. But yeah, as far as development goes, it's fully developed. I don't know what like more details I can elaborate on it. I know Beth has been following it for a while. She's been like my biggest fan. I think one of my biggest supporters. She's been promoting it a lot. But yes, it's what it's meant to do is it's basically it's meant to be a debt for equity swap. We have vast tracts of land. I've been talking with a few people. They think that like using underutilized land is a mistake, but there's so much land that I've seen like that is just vast and empty that nobody visits, nobody goes to, and is already like disturbed like via transit corridors and stuff, like highways right go through them and stuff, and nobody visits them. Nobody's going out there to go camping. I'm not talking about the national parks or ecological preserves that are already protected. I'm talking about the stuff that's like already disturbed via electrical lines, that they already have small like roadside shops and stuff, and even vast tracts of empty scrub that no there's at least I have on my there's a Bureau of at show 8 years of nobody visits it off as unviable scrubland, and this is land that they're already considering selling. The Bureau of Land Management is already considering selling it to private interests, and I think that would just be a massive mistake. So my proposal is, instead of selling it, why don't we lease it? Why don't we partner with the tribes and lease it? You know, the tribes get a direct royalty for it.
Hello?
Sorry, what was that?
I think that was probably
Oh,
you know, just a glitch. Is that right, Beth, or do you want to say anything? I think it's good. Go ahead, Brendan.
okay. But yes, you know, instead of selling the land, we lease it. That way there, it's not just a single cash injection into the economy. But aside from the US, I've developed it for Nigeria. As you know, Ashfaq, I'm still working on the one for Bangladesh. I also have Liberia is another one. Iran. I'm developing one for Iran. And I have many more in the pipeline. It's I've slowed down a little bit on developing the international versions, because I've started working with a presidential candidate, as you know, not president. He's not president right now. His name is Emmanuel Pastrike. He was with the Green Party briefly in 2024, but he's now running as an independent for the 2028 presidential candidacy. But yeah, I don't really know how much more I can talk about the Accord. I mean, I could drop a link in the chat if anybody wants to see any check out any articles, or if you want the link to the GitHub repository itself. I also have the links to the international adaptations that I'm still under construction. So the GitHubs will actually say they're under construction, but I am going to be working with Emmanuel soon to be moving the framework over to his website called the Center for Truth Politics. So it'll actually have an official place to go to, other than just the GitHub, since I know a lot of people are daunted by the repository, because you know, it's mostly for software development and software repositories. So a lot of people think like, oh, it's just for computer code. So I'll actually have a place that people can go where it's not going to be so complicated to use.
I mean, I was afraid of, you know, when I heard about GitHub, I thought, okay, that might be something really complex. And then when I heard the idea from you, it made sense. But I actually wanted to talk to you about, is there a way we can flip the dynamic of the framework? Like right now it's top down. You are working with the top officials.
Well, he's not really a top official right now. I mean, he's
I
actually.
know. I mean, I'm just saying the, you know, the overall, the general aspects of it, like how it works.
Yeah.
Is there a way we can, you know, flip the game and make it a grassroots movement, so that we don't have to wait for the permissions from corrupt officials, you know?
We don't need to. That's what I say in all of my articles. Is right now my bottleneck is getting it to the right stakeholders. Right now, because all it would take is just one tribe in the United States. In Nigeria, it would take one state governor in order to function. But in the United States, it would take a tribal nation to just sign a non-binding agreement. But right now, my bottleneck is getting it to them. I in all of my articles, I tell people, like, you don't need to know anybody in the Senate. You don't need to know a tribal council. All you need to do is just pass it on to the next person, because that's what it's meant to do. Is it's you know, since it's meant to protect people's jobs from automation, that's one of its biggest features. All people have to do is just pass it on to their friend, because if they know about it, if they know that there's another solution out there, then they can pass it on to another person and then pass it on to another person, and eventually it will reach the people it needs to reach. That's yeah, because I say that like at the end of every one of my articles that I've been writing recently about it, like because I know that like trying to get it to the top officials right away is kind of an uphill battle. Like, but it doesn't need congressional it doesn't need congressional permission to activate. It just needs a one-time authorization event. But that's it. But like I said, one of the ways to drive demand for it is having international versions where if another country moves first, then and if they adopt it, then they get the first mover advantage. So that's why I created the international adaptations. But yeah, and I know most of the time people usually start an idea and they iterate on it with people first before introducing it, and then I kind of went about it the opposite way. I just developed the entire thing first before I even joined social media, and then I started saying like, "Hey, here's an idea," and people are like, "That's really complicated." And yeah, it's just been trying to break through that barrier of like trying to break it down into the simplest parts. But it is a complex idea, but I've always felt like you're not really going to change the world with simple ideas, you know? Like people always seem to think like, oh, if you can't break it down into one sentence, then it's not worth it. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense. You can't break down like the you know, like fixing Social Security. You're not going to be able to break that down into one sentence, you know? Like, yeah, big ideas aren't going to be easy to break down like into like but anyway, that's what I have.
Okay, thank you so much, Brandon. So let's welcome Marcia Grace and Charlotte Petrie. Welcome to World Peace Coalition. So where does this name came from, or what does it even mean? So actually it doesn't mean anything unless we give it a meaning. Okay, somebody is trying to join in. Hi, Marcia. Hello, can you hear us? Okay, seems like she left. So, hey, Zoom user, I don't know what's your name because it's showing Zoom user.
Okay, is it me? If it's me, my name is Richard.
Hey,
Richard
Richard,
Brown. Yeah,
where are you from?
I'm at the St. Joseph Care Facility in Guelph, Canada. Formerly of Guelph, former teacher at the Toronto District School Board, and former resident of Toronto, and I was born in Ohio, and graduate of Oberlin College and master's degree at Ohio State University and teaching certification, University of Toronto.
So what was your subject study?
My first attraction, actually, it was my major identity, was as an English teacher, English language and
Okay.
literature. And my second teaching subject was psychology, sociology. And I
Wow.
brought a family studies course into the day school at York Memorial Collegiate Institute in the 80s at the request of the principal, because he was he was losing enrollment to the night school. And then I was qualified to teach that, and I was glad to teach that. And I was a student of Marshall McLuhan. And that was a high point in my career because I actually came to Canada to study with him.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Okay, who's that cat?
And what's your name?
Oh, okay. My name is Estibadhon. on Substack. Badhon is my nickname. ST stands for Saint, which is my pen name, but my actual name is Ashfaq, and I am from Bangladesh, and we are here to see if we, the ordinary people, can do something to stop any war. You know,
Right.
I made a sacred purpose of my life is to stop at least one war, no matter how far I have to go. If I have to, study harder, or being a diplomat, or whatever it is. So right now, where I stand, I can do is connect with people and share ideas what small actions that we can take today from our homes, from our phones. Very little actions like delaying a purchase can have a massive impact. You are a teacher. I was a student of sociology, applied sociology, and I am thinking about studying public affairs so that I can pursue being a independent diplomat, or being a peace negotiator. So I live right beside the world's most fragmented war, where there's more than 1,000 armed groups are fighting for control, along with the army itself. And wars are complex. There are so many parties involved, and they have their interests. They are profiting from the war, and we have to make the war expensive and peace inexpensive, so with that we can actually bring harmony to the world. So I created a PDF file. Let me actually put that PDF file here on the Zoom chat so that you guys can take a look at it. I actually shared my screen and talked about it a few moments ago, so I'm not going to do that again. But when we are done with this peace talk today, we will have a recorded version, some article with it, with all the useful information. Today I pre-launched something that competes with Kindle and Audible all together, but it's in its premature form. It's not ready yet. It just have the basic functionalities, and it's not working properly as well. Oh, let's welcome AC, and maybe there are some other people who joined in. Oh no, it's just AC, I guess. So, hey AC. Let me ask to unmute AC.
I'm sorry. Could you please give me your name again? What name do you like to be called by that I could pronounce, I hope?
How about Saint?
Faye?
Saint,
What-
Saint.
Spell it, please.
SAINT.
Saint?
Yep.
Okay, Saint. Okay, Saint. I'm still Richard. Well, it's very interesting, and you're really you're engaging a huge enterprise, and from the very beginning, Saint. And is that a proper name, or is that
No, that's my pen name. That's my pen.
that's your
That's
recognized name by your relatives and by your government and so on in Bangladesh?
it's my pen name. It's my pen
Oh, it's your
name.
pen name. Okay, that makes sense.
So I am from Bangladesh, and my name is kind of difficult to pronounce. I've been working as a freelancer, digital marketeer, and all sorts of IT related stuff for over a decade. And I have seen people have struggle pronouncing my name properly. So I had to adopt some new names to make it easy for you guys.
Well,
So
that's understandable. Yeah. Well,
okay.
I'm a retired teacher, and I'm in a care home because I had a stroke uh, at the end of the winter, the last winter here in Canada. And my wife is here at the care home too. She's been here for an extra 10 years. And I was visiting her from our home. And then I ended up passing out and being taken to the, gotten fortunately into a good care home here. Yeah. So I'm not, I'm part of a group that called Guelph Wellington Men's Group that brings in guest speakers on various subjects relating to war and peace and politics and so on. Um, I can. Do you have any literature that explains what you want?
Yes, I have a few literatures. One of them is called Universal Peace uh, Framework, also called Peace Equation, which actually uh, you know talks about some ideas like putting first we need to create an environment where we cannot allow any occupations, okay? In order to establish peace, we have to come to terms of the peace, right? So that's one of the things. And then there are some other stuff like putting a DMZ zone around the most conflicted areas, and then having a force that actually focuses on de-escalation rather than escalating things, and that actually works for people, not for the top government officials. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Okay. Well,
yeah,
I I'd like you if you could send me
yes.
on email or messenger or one of those. Um, if you could send by email some of the things you're just vocalizing to me here.
Uh, can you spell out your email, or are you on Substack?
I believe I'm on Substack. I didn't join Substack. I
Okay,
somehow was recruited into Substack, but I don't go to it because I don't have the time. In fact,
okay.
I was just interviewed here at the care home, uh, being a
Uh,
retired. Yeah. Well, if you, I my if you could send me some of your literature, my email address, I could give you my email
yes,
address.
please go ahead. You tell me your email address and I type it down.
Okay, you could do that.
All right.
It's Downtown Brown,
Downtown
that's
Brown.
all one word,
Yeah.
Downtown Brown, no
Yep.
capitals,
Yep.
002
002
@gmail.com.
@gmail.com. All right. So I'm going to put it in our Zoom chat so that you can also
Oh, you
see.
don't have, you misspelled my last part of
Oh,
the name. It's
okay.
Brown, like the color brown,
Oh, 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 sorry.
BROWN.
Sorry, it's a
Not,
typo. Sorry. Let me fix
that's okay.
that.
Downtown Brown 002
Yeah.
@gmail.com.
All right.
And
So I
I'll
just
look it
fixed
over.
that. Does that looks good right now?
That sounds good. By the way, m- I I have two sons and a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and now three grandchildren, uh, and I'm retired, and I'm at a care home, and my younger son lives in New Bedford, Massachusetts, and he, in addition to being a Buddhist monk, and his wife as well, he's a lawyer too, and he's in the United States. I'm here in Canada, and my other members of my family. That's my son named Stephen, and his wife Anisha. She's from an East Indian background, and she's a dentist, and they live in Massachusetts, and they have a dog named Dorje. And as I say, he's a Buddhist monk, and he's also a lawyer who graduated in Dartmouth Law School. And he and his wife are involved in various ventures to spread dental health around the world. And they go to different countries and give out free toothbrushes. And the name of their charity is Sagen.org, SAJEN.org. And I'm sure you could find them on the internet. But in any say, it's SAJ, not G, but J
Okay.
E-N, Sagen
Okay.
dot O-R-G, Sagen dot org. I believe it would all be lowercase. I don't think the first. Why don't you print that out here so I could see what you've got?
I mean, I can just print out.
No, it's not. You have Saint something. Yeah. Come in. Sorry.
The,
Here's a gentleman. Why don't you say hi to him? This is one
hello.
of our people working here at the care.
Hello,
He's starting a group
how are you?
for
We're
international
doing great.
peace.
Yeah,
Yep. Please
Yeah, so
take
Nice
care
to hear.
of. Yeah, take care of him.
his name is Saint, but that's his
yeah,
professional name. In any case,
we taken care of each other.
That's great.
yeah.
Glad to hear it.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay.
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 Thank you for the snack. I was brought a snack. Thank you, Marlon.
So, Richard,
Yeah, if you could retype that,
uh-huh,
it's S as in Sam,
uh-huh.
A as in apple, J as in Jerry,
Jerry, okay. Oh, I got it.
E as in everyman, N as in nothing.
Yep, I got it. I got the website.
Oh, you got it, the
Yep,
website.
I
Oh,
can
right.
share my
Well, take a
screen.
look at it and see if there's any connection that you might find relevant. But now it says pinch out for a bigger view. I don't know, you've got the wrong name though on here. It says STBADH.
That's my.
Oh, that's your name.
Yeah, but if can you see my screen?
I see your screen and it has your name under it. ST
Yeah.
space lowercase b ADHON. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay. Yeah, you've got Stephen, or as his name is in his Buddhist role, Kunshak Tashi. You got Stephen's name, and you might look into that and see if health can be any part of that, because people aren't going to have very good means for bringing peace to the world if they're you know, they can't chew, they can't eat. Okay, in any case, I better go here because they're going to be calling me for other things. I don't know, I've never been so busy since I've been in this care home, but I am here, so I don't think
Richard,
I'm going to.
it's really, I'm really sorry here about your stroke and your wife's condition. And
Yeah, well, she's,
we will,
yeah, that's sad.
at the end of this meeting, we will actually have a prayer session and we will pray for you. Okay. And
Please. Also, I should point out that I'd be glad to send you some of the Zoom lectures from this Guelph Wellington men's group. They had a former Prime Minister of Ireland speaking on the internal politics of the Vatican,
mhm.
and they had a Jewish American writer opposed to Israeli policy who's written a book, and he gave a lecture. I could send you that one. I could send these to you as links because they allowed them to be recorded, and then I'm free to share them with whoever I want. But they don't record all of their talks. And there's one on where the world is leading us with artificial intelligence. And there's another one, which was a couple having an ecological bird watching tour of what used to be Basuto land in South Africa. But it's a very beautiful video of wildlife. And it was basically a bird watching tour. But I could send you some of those if you give me in writing an email address for yourself and your group that I could send it to.
Yes. So, Richard, I have your email address. I will send you my framework along with a website that I built to compete with Kindle so that you can read or listen to books for free. You don't even have to sign up. So I'll try to congest everything in a small message and send it to you so that you can just reply me with whatever.
Okay, and I'll send you whatever I have that may be of interest to you. Are you familiar with the novelist John Irving?
I think I have heard the name.
Well, his first novel, which I just came upon relatively recently, was called A Prayer for Owen Meany. And I could send you the Audible book, an audio book.
I
From
would love that.
Audible.
I would love, you can see I wear glasses. I have trouble reading. So
Yeah, well, this is it. I can't do it anymore, reading long books or anything. But in any case, let me send that to you because that from my experience during the Vietnam War years is the best comment on what young people went through in those years that I've ever run into. And that was pretty well based on my decision to leave the United States and to come to Canada back in 1968.
wow.
That was a long time ago. But the Vietnam War is often not paid attention to. And the people like to just forget it. But they've had other overseas engagements which have been unclear of why they're there, except to exploit other countries. But I'll be glad to send you any and that book. It's fiction, but
I
it's
would
well researched. He's a great
really
writer.
appreciate to have that book, Richard.
he's and also, are you familiar with the movie or the book? And they're both by this John Irving, The Cider House Rules. Did you ever see the movie The Cider House Rules that starred Michael Caine and Toby Maguire and
You know what?
Josephina?
I
Yeah.
am going to look at it. I am just
Okay,
putting.
I'll send those two links to you.
Okay.
And there are others. Who's this? Brandon Bedard.
Yeah.
Curious to get your thoughts on something. Somebody's writing me. Is that you? All right. I had a pop-up message here of sorts, but I'll figure it out. In any case, I'll send you things now and again and see if you find them interesting or if they're helpful, or if they lead to other connections. But as you well know, there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation out there, and you have to be sure of who's in. You seem to me to be an honest person, and so I'm. But anybody who makes connections, be as clear as you can with who you're talking to, because I know in the United States now things are very untrustworthy because you're not sure whether it's
It's same all around the world. I can tell
okay.
you.
And it's probably always been that way. I don't know, but it seems like it's gotten worse. I don't
Well,
know.
I am like we are 8,000 kilometers apart, but I have friends in United States who visited me, and I actually registered my business in Canada and have planned to visit Canada maybe in 6 months or in a year. So anyway, when I talk to them, exchange the culture.
You know who you're
Ideas.
dealing with, and you know what the topics are. So no, you're savvy, you're educated, and you know what you're doing. So, but I'll be glad to send you anything that comes my way that's interesting from a pacifistic point of view.
Okay. Right. So I'm gonna drop my email address for you so that you can send me anything that comes your way.
Okay, that is Kurt Vade. Is that the address? Yeah, that
Yeah,
popped up on my screen and
yeah, yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah, that's kurt.vaed@gmail.com. And actually, AC was here waiting for a long time. And I'm really sorry, AC. You can come in and talk to Richard if Richard have time, or maybe share your ideas. I'm going to
Okay.
switch
I,
off my
I can't
camera.
promise that I'll be on top of this device
Okay.
because I get lots of emails. I don't have the time or the ability probably to access them, but I do occasionally answer, and I will certainly be glad to hear what anybody has to say on the topic of peace, which I think is a very worthy goal,
Yes.
and
Thank you so much.
it's not impossible.
Yep.
So
Soup kitchen, people who are managing soup kitchens in Mozambique for 16 years, they stopped a war, not some big
oh,
politician.
that's right. I agree with you there. It's
So
not the people who are very well entrenched in the current setup in any
yeah,
place who end wars or inequality, but it's people who are coming with a clean conscience and they're doing it for the proper purposes. And well, okay, I'm glad I met you. I thought twice before coming in and responding. But you know something? I get the Zoom for these local Guelph Men's Club lectures that my friend who belongs to that group, I can't belong to it because I can't leave the care home. And they have meetings in person. And they also had Zoom. So that's why I got in on his credentials, and I'll send a few of those to you and see if you find them interesting, and you could answer me and let me know.
Right. Thank you so much. Let's hear from AC.
Thank you very much. Nice meeting you, and all the best, and I'm sure we'll connect again.
Yeah, you can stay here if you have time, or if you have to go somewhere, you can go. I mean, AC is here. She wants to say something to the world, and we want to hear from her. So, AC, are you up?
Who's HE?
AC, it's short form for American citizen. So,
Oh, AC.
AC, yeah.
And also is alternate current in electronics.
Yeah, kind of.
AC. Okay, I'm American citizen, but I'm also a Canadian citizen, and more recently a Canadian citizen. I was born in the United States, and it's, people don't realize that the United States is one of the first countries really to allow people to change their citizenship. There are other places that you're stuck with your citizenship, and that's why you have so many people who are hurt by what's going on there in the United States now, because their own citizenship has become sort of an uncertain and at times invasive thing rather than one representing the people. So, in any case, carry on, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. You want me to call you Saint or
Yes.
Kurt?
You
Okay.
can call me Kurt, Saint, whatever is best for you. Okay.
Okay. I'll call you Kurt. I'm a little more comfortable
All
with
right.
that. Thank you.
Thank you so
You
much.
take care, be well, and hopefully we'll talk again.
Okay. You have a nice day, sir. Bye bye.
Thank you.
You can stay here if you want. Okay. If you have to go somewhere, you can go. But
Well, yeah, I brought up those lectures too, because this is a very clear Zoom connection. I haven't had one this clear previously from the lectures with the Guelph Men's Club. So, yeah, you have a very good connection here.
thank you
So
so
you
much.
take care, and we'll talk again. Bye
All
for
right.
now. Bye,
Okay.
Kurt.
All right. Bye bye. AC,
AC.
can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes. How are you doing?
Right, it's a beautiful day. I say hello to an American who lives in Canada and his wife. I'm doing well, thank you for everything you've done, and I agree. Wish all Canadians well.
See, we are having trouble hearing you. Maybe you can find a good Wi-Fi spot or internet spot. You see, you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. Well, here's the things I have to say about
I think you're still cutting out.
peace. Not what kindness is.
Okay, we are here for you, AC. Don't worry. Take your time. Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I think it's better.
Well, here's what I have to say about peace. A lot of war, conflicts that make
It's still cutting out.
money out of the banks.
AC, you are cutting out. We cannot hear you.
Brandon, call me. I can go through his phone.
Okay, Brendan, can you do that?
What was that?
Can you call AC so that she can speak through your phone? She's having a bad internet, so she probably wants to talk to you over the phone, you know,
Uh,
probably.
Sure. I'll call. 1 sec. What was that?
Any update, Brendan?
Yeah, I'm calling right now. It said network failed. Please check network connection and try again.
Okay. We'll give it another try, and then we may do the prayer and then close out if anybody else doesn't want to come in or and talk. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying again right now. It's not sure why it's not connecting.
Okay. All right, no worries. Okay, so I was supposed to invite somebody called Sue, but it wasn't giving me the option to send her the invite through the usual way. So I guess I have to find a different route. Sue. I'm sorry, Sue. I was, trying to send you the invite, but the functions were not working properly. So I had to, even like we were talking to Richard and Brandon and AC. That's why I also forget about it. So I'm sending the invite right now in your email. Invitation. All right, so if you are still watching, I just sent the Zoom link in your email. It may go to your spam folder because we have never exchanged emails before. So make sure you look at your spam folder as well, okay? So, okay, I guess we should wait a few moments to see whether AC or Sue joins in. If not, we will move to our prayer session.
Hello.
Hello?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. I have you on speakerphone now.
Fabian, this way.
Yeah.
Hey AC, can you hear us?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. What about you?
Good. Here's the things I have to say about peace. If it
It seems like there's a bad network connection still.
Yeah, it's really bad. We cannot understand a thing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that the people who really benefit from war are big banks, private equity, fossil fuels, and now, more recently, big tech. And so, how do you have to defund them? And if we were to, all the people around the world, take our money from our retirements, we actually make ourselves into our own banking system. We decentralize the banking and we take away the power from them and we take it back for ourselves. I think that that is something that has to happen, and I think that has to happen globally, so that we put these assholes in their place. Because otherwise, they will continue to try to buy the system to use the war machine for their profits. And ultimately, these guys are child rapers and murderers and control freaks. And what they did to these kids, obviously, they didn't have a problem with experimenting on them and everything else. They'll do that to us. If we want to stop this, we need to take our money back and our power back. I think another thing that needs to happen that I really haven't heard anybody else talking about is the fact that when you read literature about fascism, what is one of the first things they go after? Yes, they go after the educational institutions because they don't like educated people, but they go after women. Always and forever, they go after women. Go look at Russia. Okay? And women there will beat the fuck out of you and they will kill you. And the reason that will happen is because they have nothing there to help them from domestic violence or anything else. And so it is a killed or be killed situation. And that's why, it will happen more here in the United States for women to be able to protect themselves. And how is that really happening? Why is it that women are put under thumb? Because, and I'm just going to go a little bit into religion so you understand, and then I'm going to go into something I think is a good idea if we can get this person to do it, to try to counter this globally, okay? Is when you look at, and I'm just going to look at Christianity, and the reason I'm going to look at that is because the United States is obviously having a Christian national problem, okay? They're not followers of Christ, right? He said, feed the hungry, take care of the sick, welcome the foreigner as you were a foreigner, and, don't worship the golden idol. And these assholes do exact opposite of all those things. Okay. But if you want to counter this, you look at religion and you go, okay, from this standpoint, from this, you know, the US, because a lot of these guys, they'll use this argument, and women need to obey, need to be underfoot, because for the toxic patriarchy to work, they need men to be under their thumb. They need them to go die for their wars. They need them to go work in slave camps, but they need to give them something. They don't want to give them money. So they use women as cannon fodder, and they use them as, well, you can beat them and rape them and kill them, and we'll let you get away with it. Right now, there's some estimate out that 22% less sex trafficking crimes are being prosecuted. Well, no shit, he's gutted all of those agencies. Okay, and so when you're looking at that, let's go look at that religion and say, what did they do? In the beginning, if you look at the Bible, it says that, you know, the angel went to Joseph first. Oh no, it says it went to Mary first, asked for consent, and then went to Joseph. Then it says that Jesus loved Mary above all others and kissed her on it, and it was smeared and they don't know where. And then it goes into how, you know, who is the one group that he hated? The ultra wealthy. And at the end, a man betrayed him to other men, and other wealthy men executed him with another man, right, with a spear. And at that event, you had both the women, and Mary Magdalene was not a prostitute. She was made a prostitute so to take away her power. And you had one of the male disciples there. Mary Magdalene was actually the apostle of the apostles and helped fund Jesus in his things, right? After he died, who did he come back to? Who would you come back to? The least important person in your life, or the most important? Probably the most important. And who did he come back to? He came back to Mary and said, go get the others. And then there were females that led the teachings of the, you know, Christianity along with men. And several generations later, you had rich men come in and they gutted the whole thing. They excluded Mary from one of as the disciples. If you don't believe that and you think there's just 12 disciples, okay, let's look at that. They don't have 12 gospels. They don't have 6. They have 4. Timothy 1, Timothy 2, and multiple other locations within this Bible are handwriting that is matching none of the disciples. It's just some idiot who went in there and said, I want to have something put in there and put a name in it. And some of these things are against women. Okay, and what do wealthy men do? Well, they get wealthy by exploiting other people, like poor men and women. And if you say, I'm a wealthy man, you have to do this because I'm a wealthy man, people will pitchfork you. But if you say, God wanted it, and this is God's will, then people go under your foot. Fast forward, you go to Moses in the hand of God. Respect thy father. No. Respect thy father and thy mother. No. Respect thy mother and thy father. So yet again, here's Jesus putting women before men. Now, do I think women are better than men? No, I do not. I think we are equals. I know for a fact we're not less than. But then you had a little bit later, King James, his whole version of things. Who was King James? He was the son of Mary of Scots. Here's the thing with him. He literally went out and mass murdered thousands of women and wrote a book about it. And I feel like if he railed against the ultra wealthy, and I'm thinking mass murderers aren't really great either, we shouldn't have had either one of these groups editing this. And that it's about goddamn time that we stop saying women obey and women are under, because when we have balance, when we have women come back in as an equal, we can balance the situation out, and we will fight back if we're not thrown under the cudgel of God told us we have to be less. Fuck that. I think we go get the Pope. We say, you've been a great guy. You stood up to fascism. You know what really helps defeat fascism? Women. And we need you with all this information I just gave you, and that you know, to stop putting women underfoot. You have had the spine to stand up to these guys, have the spine to stand up to the church, and finally release the fact that women are equals, that women need to stand up to this too. It is your calling from above to do that as well. Take the chains off them so that we can actually start having a world where the ultra wealthy aren't using everybody else to, like the Epstein files, rape them, experiment on them, torture them, kill them, sometimes eat them. Let's maybe get rid of the wealthy. Let's tax them out of existence so that we don't have billionaires. You can have 50 million, you can have, you can make a couple million every year, maybe get up to 100 million, but you don't ever have enough that you buy the system so that you can wield the war machine ever again. And if you want to be in our little United Nations where we trade with each other, then you have to sign off on the fact that you are going to tax anybody, and you have equivalencies and say, like right now, maybe it's $50 million, maybe it's 32 million euros, and you have an equivalency of all the currencies, and you say, this is what we're going to do. Once you get to this level, if you want to play with us, you have to tax these uber rich people. 10% of this is going to go in the kitty, and we're going to feed people. No one is going to go without being fed, period. And if we get to the point where everyone's fed, then we're going to be able to give them, either housing or healthcare. And you can take the majority of the money you're making, but you are also going to divvy up to the poorest people in the area. Now, if you're in one of the poorest countries, you don't have to do that, right? And that way, I understand this. Mamdani in New York, he now has the lowest rates of crime and murder, the lowest rates of murder and crime in New York's history in less than a year. And how did he do that? Because you look at crime, that's at a small, microscopic level. Macroscopic is war. How did you get the peace locally? Well, you fed people. He made sure that the food is almost at cost. Like it's greatly reduced, so you can afford food. He reduced transportation for the poor in half. He made sure to go after the slumlords so they actually have to fix the property so that the water isn't leaking and there aren't rats. Back paid them what they owed. He went through and he's filling the potholes. He's making sure schools and parks are completely funded. He taxed the rich. And oh my God, when you can afford your rent because you froze the rent, you can afford your food, you can afford to get to your, and he gave free daycare to 2 and 3 year olds. You can afford to live. And crime went completely down. That's because you got rid of the ultra wealthy. And so my 2 ideas for global peace are this. 3, I guess. One is us locally. Everyone globally, what we can do is make ourselves into our own banking system. Make ourselves into a bank, like incorporate yourself into it as a bank, have special services on there under a trust. And then under the special services, you can go and invest in index funds. If we could have a framework for that and give that out to everybody, and everyone takes their money and their power back from these assholes, seriously, we're going to see some huge change. That is, and you can give this information to the unions, right? And if all the unions took their pensions back and did this, holy shit, would we see these guys move? And we need to, if we can, get a letter to the Pope and ask him, like this information I just gave you in a letter, women need to be unchained. You need to stop using religion as a cudgel against the poor and the women. It's only men in the church, and it's only in all these different forms. It's just that, you know what, you need to get over yourselves. Get over your fragile little egos, right? No. Women are equals. Let us stop with this. We have to obey, and we have to be under. That is what fascism uses to maintain power. If you men want more peace, then you need to let the shackles religiously off the women and acknowledge that. And then you're going to see all these indoctrinated women go, really? I have this power and I have this, and this was not right. And if we don't go along and we don't comply, this does not goddamn work. Okay, those are my thoughts. If you want long-term, larger scope, I think we make a new UN that we the people, not the governments, put their representatives as. Maybe we elect one person from every state, right? In the the United States, because they're huge. You have to have a certain amount of population, and then you say, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to play nice with all these different countries who are going to tax the uber wealthy, and they have 10% of whatever they tax them is going to go to a general global kitty. We're going to make sure everyone is fed and everyone has housing, and then we're going to take care of your healthcare, right? Like we're going to take care of the necessities, and when you do that, you have peace. So that's my thoughts. I'll shut up now.
Okay, thank you so much, AC. I actually had a plan sending a written letter to the Pope and all the religious leaders to invite all the political leaders and then lock them in a room until they come into the terms of peace. So that's what JP Morgan did.
I think that's a lovely dream. I don't see that happening, but I do see this. This Pope has actually stood up to this regime, and I want you to understand how much he stood up to this regime. He has told his bishops that he is sent to America. He said, get your wills in order. And I want you to go there and stand up for these people, knowing that it might cost them their lives. He has made this, I forget what he called it. It's this really long, like 100-page, whatever, 200-page memorandum. It's some special name for a church document that they've never done. And it's against fascism and war. Okay? Like, and he is very well respected. And because he has had the nards, the backbone to stand up and do these things, he might be finally, after how many thousands of years, the first guy who can stand up and go, this isn't, this, we need to broaden this to what Jesus said, not what the uber wealthy and what mass murderers have edited this to be. We are going to make this as it was, which is women are equal. And they are not to obey. They are to be partners to one another. And that means when we're having these fascist issues, that is also your responsibility to stand up to these organizations. And that is something that's doable. If we could put together a really wonderful letter and we could have it sent by 1,500 people to the Pope, you know, asking him to do this, please stand up publicly and acknowledge this so that you empower the women, and instead of using this as a cudgel used by the wealthy and a mass murderer to keep you down, we're acknowledging that actually Jesus put you first, and it's not because you're more than men, it's because you're equal to men. And that this is your responsibility to stand up to this as well. I feel like if we could do something like that, I love the idea of locking everybody in a room. I love the idea of just giving them all a gun and they can all fight each other on a freaking battlefield if that's what they want, and they'll all take care of each other. But that's not going to happen. And I think a realistic thing is to ask the Pope, who has had the courage to do very public things in the past that are bucking the system, to do this wonderful thing that no one has had the courage to do. And it would, I'm telling you, because I know a lot of indoctrinated women around where I live, and it's this, oh wait, you know, you have to obey. No. And if the Pope came out and said these things, I'm just saying that is a doable thing. And that might possibly happen.
Yeah, AC, I am here. If you have the letters ready, I am willing to send those letters. And I'm sure that Brandon and all the other people from the group, from this community would also send it to the Pope. So let's welcome Dawn Shawley. Am I pronouncing it properly?
Yes. I'm one of the original members we had last time. So
Okay. So is your Substack name Cards BB Fan?
yes.
Okay. Welcome to Peace Talks. I was supposed to have it all coordinated. I written a speech, agenda, and everything in my diary, and then at the last moment, I locked the bedroom door from the inside, and now I cannot get in. I don't know how I'm going to get in and go to bed. Have to probably break the door. Anyway,
Okay.
I do have a PDF file where I shared. I mean, I tried to find some, small actions that we can take today from our home, from our phones, or maybe in our decisions that can actually have some impact on the actual words. I mean, I already showed it to Beth and the people who were there earlier, but I'm not sure Brandon was there or not. So do you wanna take a look at it?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me share my screen with you. Let me know if you can see. Okay, so how can I make it full screen? All right. So this is inspired by butterfly effect. 6 things you can do today to slow a war. No march, no passport politics required. Wars are not single events, they are daily transactions. fuels sold, weapons licensed, minerals shipped, stories believed. Every one of those passes through ordinary hands somewhere, including yours.
Mm-hmm.
So step 1, you act once, a message, a switch, a delayed purchase, 2 minutes. Step 2, an institution logs it, banks, brands, and office count contacts and exits. A cost moves, financing, licenses, and reputations get more expensive. And the step 4 is the war gets harder to fund. Wars end when continuing costs more than stopping. Okay. So today's six actions are: find out where your money slips. Okay. Your bank pension index fund almost certainly holds arm makers and energy farms tied to a live war. Today, search your fund's holding page. Then send one written line asking for a war exposure screen. Institutions count on those letters. If you do this, you will have a direct impact on Ukraine war, Gaza war, and democratic or Congo war, okay? And you will have indirect impact on Sudan and Myanmar war. The second thing is send one specific ask, not a plea. Stop the war gets filed. A named transfer gets answered. Today, write your representative and ask in writing how they will vote on the next arms transfer or export license, and ask for a written position you can quote. Keep the reply. So if you do this, you will have direct impact on Ukraine and Gaza war and indirect impact on Sudan, Myanmar, and Congo war. Delay one upgrade. Ask one question. Tin, tantalum, tungsten, and gold from contested mines. Pay armed groups directly. Today, keep the phone or laptop another 6 months and email the brand asking which smelters they audit. Slow demand and public questions both raises the cost and looted supply. So one of the things I learned while doing this is Jade is directly related to funding the armed groups in Myanmar. So maybe the jewelry section is not added here, but Jade is definitely one of the things. If you are considering buying, ask the source. And if it's from Myanmar, please don't buy it. Okay. So fund the people who de-escalate. Relief treats the wound, mediators, ceasefire, monitors, and local documentation group work on the cause, and they are chronically unfunded. Today, give once to a local mediation or civilian protection group, however small, and set it to repeat. But be very careful of who you give your money to, because I do not donate money to UNICEF because I have seen a kid washing, UNHCR or UNICEF Jeep. That's like striking image that they are supposed to protect that kid from child labor while they are using that child to wash their car, and that's kind of shook me, and that's where I think about where my money is going. I don't want to fund the CEO of UNICEF or any other big corporations. I do want to pay money to somebody directly who is in need, who will actually be benefited out of it, and there will be no cuts. So anyway, Ukraine, Gaza will have indirect impact, and Sudan, Myanmar, and Congo will have direct impacts if you try to fund some of the groups. Verify before you amplify. Fake atrocity clips, recruit fighters, and hardened publics on every side. Today, before sharing war footage, reverse image search it and check the date. If it fails, do not post it and do not quote it to argue with it. Silence starves it faster. Ukraine, Gaza will be directly, impacted by it, and others will be mildly impacted. But here's something that I want to add. I deleted or scheduled a deletion to all my Meta products as soon as I learned, not actually as soon as I learned about the child abuse ads they're running, but when I saw that how it's stealing my attention, how it's sneaking into my brain and influencing my thoughts and decisions. And this is not just happening with me. I mean, people surrounding me, they are socially engineering people to believe, normalize the child abuse or the evil things. Okay, so I was having a conversation with somebody after I deleted all my Meta products, and that guy said that they were trying to sell Bible and they had to go through multiple times, yet we keep watching the scam advertisements. So I mean, it was suspicious, but when I saw the BBC report that Facebook is allowing child abuse child sexuality advertisements, when they are clearly saying that these are prohibited. And when the reporters, they reached out to the reporters, the inside experts or people who worked before, and they said Meta knew it all along, but they don't care. They are there for profit. So
Yeah, I read that article.
yeah, I cannot. We cannot expect good thing from an evil system. So that's why I completely removed myself, so that I can reclaim my attention, my my thoughts, and I'm kind of living in a isolation right now until I figure out like what kind of boundaries do I need to set to fight these algorithms that are running into people's lives. Okay. Anyway, let's move to the next point, which is give one displaced person a real hour. Displacement is what turns a war into a generation of wars. Today, spend 1 hour on a refugee CV, an online language session, or a hosting sign up, or buy from a business run by someone who fled. 1 hour, one person from any country. If you do this, the Ukraine war, Sudan war, Myanmar war will be directly impacted, and Gaza and Congo war will have indirect effect. So you can this version of the butterfly effect is not that one small act changes everything. It is that a war needs its inputs delivered again tomorrow. Withdraw one input in one house 1,000,000 times over, and the arithmetic of continuing starts to move. You are not powerless. You are upstream. This is free to print, copy, translate, and share. No permissions needed, nothing needed. I will attach this PDF file with the article that I will submit along with this live show. So thank you so much for looking at some actionable items. Dawn, any thoughts?
Yeah. Well, first off, it's going to be a very difficult thing to do because, like here in the United States, you have the Democrats and the Republicans, and they're both put into power by basically by money. Okay. The Citizens United costs everything to our, basically to our government system by putting the elites in so that their voice is bigger than ours, so that we don't, our votes go away basically. So the problem is both sides are funded by the same thing. I mean, yes, there's less funding on one side, but it doesn't matter if both sides need that money and they're only getting it because somebody wealthy is giving it to them. They're not going to vote against those interests. They're going to vote against our interests. So that's just a problem in the United States, but it's the same thing everywhere. Anytime you have inequality, it's because somebody's exploiting others. Okay, and wars are started by people who are exploiting somebody else or trying to exploit more people. Okay, or more resources, and either way, it causes impact and it causes conflict. So the only way we're going to do away with this is what I was talking about before. First off, we have to say this is what we as humans can have or are supposed to have no matter what, and that would be life, food, shelter, health care, etc. And then we have to define those things into a set manifesto, so to speak, and say we need to do this in order to achieve our goals, which is peace. And to do that, you have to stop the money from flowing in against it, because otherwise we're never going to fight it. So the way to do that is through boycotting, like you were talking about Meta, okay? And I agree with 100%. Meta is absolutely a nightmare, and so is so is
It's
AI,
evil.
as you
It's
know, I
evil.
talk about.
Yeah. It's the
So
evil forces that we need to fight, and we are not powerless if we can unite. They are just handful of people, and we are billions. Okay,
and
so
that's my point, and has been my point, as you've read all the stuff that I've written to you, back to you, and you know what I'm saying. These are things that these people are only going to understand is if everybody stands against it. And they're trying to, as you know, make it so that there's no way to do that with technology. So we have to fix that.
yeah,
And to do that, you have to, as you said, write your congressmen, write your leaders, write your senators, right? And make sure you get written answers. Like you said, it's a great way to say, now you wrote this to me. This is your signature right here. You said this. Now I can hold this up in public and say, this is what he said. Now, is he telling you the truth or not?
yeah,
You have to hold somebody accountable.
yep. That's the point. Like they are running loose, doing whatever they want without any consequences or answering it to anybody. That's what we need to change, I guess.
Yes, and you have to take those ancillary actions. You have to. If you don't, nothing happens.
Yeah. So I mean, I thought a lot about the ICC, International Criminal Court, and the United Nations. Why are they failing? I mean, they are like these toothless organizations that are paralyzed
It's
by
the
the
UN Security
veto
Council.
system, you know.
Why,
So
the UN Security Council has the 5 members who know they're not going to vote against their own interests, and nothing
yeah, I
happens
mean,
without them.
when everybody in the room are sitting there to exploit people, come on, man. I mean, what kind of United Nations is this? Like United Exploit Nation? They should change their name, I guess.
Well, it all comes down to we have to have equality in voice. I mean, because we're never going to have equality completely. It's not going to happen. But because human nature won't allow that.
Yeah. I mean, I am a student of sociology, and I remember a specific class where all the students had to come in front and give a lecture about equality, and everybody said positive things like we should treat everybody equally, all of that, and the teacher was nodding in approve, but I had a different perspective, and my teacher was really disappointed about it. But I think that is real, because these inequalities are sometimes not created by humans. For example, if you treat or give the same salary to a doctor or a neurosurgeon to a
Mhm.
cab driver, like, what's the incentive for the neurosurgeon to study harder,
Yes.
So
What's
there
the-
are, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what's the incentive to change things for the better if you're getting paid to do nothing? And if everybody's equal, it's a great concept Karl Marx had a great concept in communism. The reality, though, is there's always somebody that's going to exploit those so they can get more.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
human
yeah.
nature.
That's why
It's not gonna
we saw
change.
the hungry lines of Soviet Unions to get some bread, but couldn't get some because government was stealing from everybody and they are exploiting it. They are doing wars and stuff without
Right.
taking care
It's
of its
all,
people.
and power is created by the people because we allow it to happen. If we don't allow it to happen, it doesn't happen. We have to change the thought process to we can stand up and do something about it. I mean, Lech Walesa is a perfect example in Poland. He is the reason that there is no Soviet Union anymore. And he did it with no bullets, nothing but his voice. He stood up and he said, we need to come together and we need to go on strike and we need to not listen to these people, and no matter what it costs the leaders or whoever's seen, because we have to do this if we want to succeed. And it worked. It's why the Soviet Union fell. And it's the only way it's going to work for us too. We have to stand up.
Yes, we all have to stand up, hold hands, and march forward.
Correct.
Stop this madness. So
Absolutely.
this call was supposed to be 2 hours long, and we are almost there. We have 2 minutes left. Does anybody else wants to add anything, or should we close it with a prayer? Brandon, AC, or Don?
I'm good.
Prayer. All right.
I think we can close it with a prayer.
All right. So this is not a religious prayer, it's a spiritual one. We will close our eyes, we'll hold our hands, and we will look inside us, and we will look outside us, outside the universe, and ask to the Almighty or the universe or nature, whatever you want to call it, that please help us to stop at least one war. Please help us to stop these evil forces. Please put them on a leash. So that's all the prayer I have from now. Thank you so much. Spreading around. And I guess we have a little bit of actionable items that we can do today to slow down the wars and eventually stop it. We will come up with more ideas and more information. I mean, we are all learning, right? So on the next session, we will try to explore some more ideas, maybe invite people who are actually facing the war or affected by it directly, and hear from them that how we can help them collectively. So until then, thank you so much, Brandon, AC, Don, Leona, and whoever else, Beth, Jackie, and anybody else showed up.